Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Bella Grayce podcast, where we are helping veterinarians break free from mindsets, behaviors, and substances that are holding them back from reaching their true potential. And this week, we are doing that by talking about going from clarity to courage. This is episode 2, and we are going to talk about getting real about what you want. So I'm Teresa Mitchell. I am a freedom mindset and recovery coach. In today's episode, we are diving straight into steps that seem simple, but surprisingly difficult when it comes to getting real about what you want. If you are a veterinarian and you are used to taking care of everyone else, you know how easy it can be to lose track of your own desires. You're used to showing up, making things happen, and doing what needs to be done. But deep down, you may be feeling stuck, disconnected, or even resentful because you haven't given yourself permission to name what you really want. So today, we're changing that. All right, so why does this matter? Getting real about what you want is the gateway to courage. Here's what I know. You can't move in a direction if you don't know what you're aiming for. And many of us avoid this question because it makes us uncomfortable and we don't want to face uncomfortable truths. The uncomfortable truths that we don't want to face are that we're unfulfilled in a job we worked so hard to get. Uncomfortable truth number 2, we are tired of being the strong one. Another one is we want more freedom, more rest, or more creativity, but we're afraid to ask for it. I've lived this. I had checked all the boxes. I got sober. I went back to school. I raised my daughter in church, got the degree, took the job, accepted the promotions. But I woke up one morning and realized that I was building a life that looked good on the outside, but felt hollow on the inside. My true desires had been buried under logic and responsibility, and I was surviving, but I was not thriving. It wasn't until I gave myself permission to want something more that things started to shift. So let's talk about the difference between wishful thinking and aligned goals. Wishful thinking sounds like this. I wish things were different. Maybe someday I'll do that. That's on the bucket list. I'll get around to it. But here's the thing. None of that is actually going to happen unless you have a plan and a goal that you are working towards. Aligned goals sound like this. This is what I value, and I'm going to build my life around it. This might scare me, but it's meaningful, and I'm willing to take the next step. Doesn't that sound so fun? Yeah, because when we are building our life around the things that we value, it makes space for joy. And I know what you're thinking, Teresa, I can't quit my job. I can't just uproot my entire life and do the things that I want to do. That's fine. But you can build your work life around the things that you want to do. That looks like making intentional time each week to do things that bring you true joy. That looks like looking forward to doing something that aligns with your personal values, mission, and vision for your life when you get off of work. So here's the thing. Aligned goals require clarity, courage, and commitment. They don't happen by accident. So how do you know if something is aligned? First of all, you have to ask yourself, does this energize me instead of drain me? Because if it is super draining, then it may not be aligned with your values or your vision or your your hopes for your life? Does it reflect your core values? If working 15-hour days, 6 days a week is draining you, and you value time with family and friends, or you value exploration, then it may not be aligned with your goals, and that may be why it is draining you. If it's not aligning with your values, then it is an energy suck, because whenever we are doing things that align with our values and who we are, it is going to energize us. We are going to feel more refreshed when we do it. Another thing that you can use, another temperature gauge that you can use to see if this is an aligned goal, is ask, does this feel true to who you want to become? Does this feel true to you as a person? These are really powerful questions that I invite you to ask about the things that you are spending time on. I understand that we can't just wave a magic wand and, be millionaires and not have to have a job. And our jobs may align with our values. It may align with our vision, but it may have crossed over into the realm of being an energy suck. So what can we do? What can we implement that also aligns with our values and our goals and our vision for our life? Because if I had to take a poll, I would guess none of us want our 9 to 5 job to be our total identity. No, we want to do things that we enjoy. We want to enjoy our hobbies. We want to enjoy playing golf. We want to enjoy going on hikes. But we can't do that when our life is completely consumed with one thing. And we break free from this by getting clear on what our aligned goals should be. One of the best ways to get clear on what you want is to get clear on what you value. Take a moment and think about this. What matters most to you? Is it freedom? Is it integrity? Is it impact? Is it connection? Is it creativity? Once you're grounded in your values, decisions become easier. You can filter every opportunity, every request, and responsibility through the lens of your values. And when your life is aligned with your values, you experience more peace, more purpose, and satisfaction, even if the journey is challenging. So we really have to get grounded in our values, because then when someone asks you to work a second shift or go out to a party or join them for an activity, you can really ask yourself, does this align with my values? Is it going to deplete my energy, or is it going to give me energy? And then you can confidently say yes or no to the invitation, because you know whether or not it aligns with your goals and your values. I want to leave you with a few questions to reflect on. What have I been tolerating that no longer serves me? This is a really important question. What have you been tolerating that no longer serves you? Is it long shifts? Is it people, places, or things? Is it time to shift gears? Maybe you have been tolerating friends that are no longer serving you, and it's time to walk away from that situation. That is okay. I always tell people friends are either in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And not everybody is going to be around forever, and that is totally okay. It is the same thing with people, places, and things. Sometimes we just outgrow people, places, and things, and that is okay. It is a part of being human. I love this saying, and I don't know who said it, but if you're not growing, you're dying. So are you dying or are you growing? What are you tolerating that is no longer serving you? And is it time to walk away from that? The second question is, what do I truly want more of in my life? Are there people, places, or things that you would like to see more of in your life? Maybe you work extremely long hours, multiple days a week. What would you want more of? Is it outside time? Is it hiking? Is it time with family and friends? Is it traveling? How can you pivot so that you can incorporate more of those things into your life? Another side to this question is, what do I want less of in my life? Do you want to spend less time at the clinic? Do you want to spend less time worrying about work? What are some small pivots that you can make in your life to help you get less of that in your life? But I really want to invite you to think about it. When you are clear on your values, it allows you to really, really paint a picture of the life that you want. I say values is where it starts. We have to know what we value, because I bet you don't value work as number one. And if you're listening to this podcast, work may be overtaking the majority of your life. So, what else matters to you? What else is important to you? What else would make you feel more fulfilled in this life? Let's do more of that. And it doesn't have to be overnight. It doesn't have to be some big, grand gesture, but just working in small pockets of places where you can do things that align with your values and your vision and your purpose for your life. What is one desire I'm afraid to name? What is one thing that you desperately want, but you're terrified to talk about it to people? I had a client who desperately wanted to open a nonprofit. She'd been a veterinarian for years. It was all she'd ever known. And she desperately wanted to open a nonprofit to help vet techs and help the admin assistants in her office. She wanted to have some sort of fund where they could go and they could pursue higher education in their field so that they could move up the ladder. And so she was terrified to speak that out loud because she said it was ridiculous. And I told her, anything is possible. You have worked your butt off. You have seen the ins and outs of veterinary medicine. You know what it takes. You know what these people are good at. Why not help them with some sort of nonprofit or scholarship fund that would help them go on and continue their education? And within a year of speaking it into existence, she has done it. And she is so fulfilled. Her days off are spent mingling and finding donors and finding resources and making connections to help vet techs and admin assistants within the veterinary world get a leg up and meet the right people, shake the right hands so that they can get into the right rooms and they can move forward in their career. So, what is the one desire that you have been terrified to name? Is it starting your own business? Is it branching out and opening your own clinic? Is it offering a very unique service to a very unique population? What is it? What is that one desire that you are afraid to name? Maybe it has nothing to do with work. Maybe your desire that you were afraid to name is that you want to run a marathon. Maybe it is that you want to get into photography. And I'm just using some of my own examples of things that I've been afraid to name. But what are you afraid to name? Nothing is going to move unless you name it. Get it out there in the world and start working towards it. Because when we speak something out loud, our brains automatically try to make it a reality. And so we will start to do things that move us in that direction. So, what is the thing that you are afraid to name? Give it a name, speak it out loud, and watch it start to come to fruition. So this week, I want to challenge you to write it down. Name what you want, speak it out loud, let it take up space, let it be real, let it exist, give it legs, give it breath, let it breathe, and let it grow. If you are ready to take action, but you need clarity, let's talk. You can schedule your free clarity call using the link in the show notes. You don't have to figure it out on your own. One of my favorite things is actually to sit down and do a value identification exercise with my clients. I love to sit down and help them determine what their values are because a lot of us don't know. We went to school, we studied, we went to grad school, we finished our degrees, and we did all of that because it was the next right step. It was what we were supposed to do next. But now is the time to sit down and really get a hold of what you value in this world, what the vision for your life is, what your true purpose is. You may be an ER veterinarian. You might work in veterinary ER, but your true passion is working with horses. So let's try to make steps, make a plan to move you towards your true vision for your life. Just because it was the next right step does not mean it is the last step, and it does not mean that it was the next right step for you. Let's stop letting society tell us what the next right step is, and let's start creating our own path forward. Your dreams live inside of you for a reason. They were there placed uniquely for you, not so they could grow cobwebs in the back of your mind, but so that you could take aligned action to move towards them. Your passions, those things that set your soul on fire, they were placed in you for a reason because you have the skills, the knowledge, and the resources to do it, to make it happen. So what are they? Let's name it. Let's put it out there and let's make a plan for moving forward. And as we progress through this series, we are going to do just that. I'm going to give you tips and tricks on how to step into the next steps with courage because we're going from clarity to courage. This is the clarity part. We have to get clear on what we want. We have to get clear on what our values are. We have to get clear on what our vision is. Write it down. Create a vision board. If you're watching the live video, you can see mine in the back. I have to remind myself daily that I am right where I'm supposed to be because I have everything inside of me that I need to take the next step forward. And I want to remind you of the same. All of those hopes, all of those dreams, all of those desires, they live inside you for a reason. And the first step is understanding what they are, getting clear on who you are, what you want, and where you're going so that you can take the next step forward. So getting real about what you want, it takes guts, but it's the foundation of a life built on freedom and joy. You're not here to live out someone else's expectations. You're here to create a life that feels like home. It doesn't matter where you move. It doesn't matter where you go. Your life will follow you. So you can't buy the next best house. You can't move to the next best city and think that everything is magically going to change. Home starts inside of you. And it starts by knowing who you are and what you want. And then speaking that into existence. Give it a name, give it legs. Let's move you in the right direction. But the first step is getting clarity. So, thank you for joining me for today's episode of From Clarity to Courage. Be sure To follow the show, leave a review and share this podcast episode with a fellow veterinarian who needs a reminder that desires matter, our dreams matter, our hopes matter. We were designed on purpose with a purpose, and we really have to get clear on what we value, because when we truly understand what we value, we know who we are, we know what we stand for, we can say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't matter. We can protect our time and our energy, and we can step into our purpose with courage. So until next time, keep choosing clarity, keep choosing courage, and may you be well, kind, and may you find some joy this week. Bye.